Now, what I remember, you need a light bulb in there, and you need an embryo in there. So you're a lucky save, fella. Because, is that too big? That's not one that can go in there. I was about to say you were going to get dissected and you've been saved, but I've got good news and bad news. Okay, I lied about the other one. A little embryo. You put a little embryo in there, and then you need a light in there as well. And if you slap them around too much, that's pretty enough. They make a mess. Missing light bulbs. Am I smacking you from inside the king? I probably am. Okay, but I think you have to prop them neatly like that one. I think just doing that is sufficient. Huxley, I'd forgotten about the Huxley on the old thingy there. Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. I should reread that one. I'm still recovering my book collection after. What am I doing? Oh, I'm being stupid. No. I thought I need to take that one out, don't I? Do I take the old light out? Take the old light out? No heat source. Yeah, I need to put a light in there. There we go. Wrong clicking method. Because I'm a fool. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff done around the house a while back. And part of that meant that everything had to be put away. So my precious book collection has not returned yet to my office. Is that one okay now? I forgot they have a status thing on there. Status what? What do you mean status what? Status normal. Yeah, it said an error for a second there. Okay, 2 embryos required. Yeah, so I have a new office, and I have my bookshelves next to me. Not enough shelves. There's never enough shelves. Never enough shelves. Don't tell me they could be. It's just not possible. For my books. And I realise most when by their absence. Because right now I tend to know where all my books are. If you told me like a particular title that I'd read in the past, I know roughly where it is in my office. I just do, and I reread a lot of them. And I know that the Aldous Huxley, Brave New World, ain't there. Do you a reread? Do you a reread? I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favourite in the world. Some of these older sci-fi stories, they're amazing, but doesn't necessarily mean that I think they're better than modern works, but I can still appreciate them very much. You know, War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, still a brilliant book, and frankly terrifying in places. I mean, you think that an old story like that, it couldn't be terrifying. I mean, the old idea of the old funny tripods walking around and wrecking Britain, England rather. They only focus on England particularly. No one else is mentioned in the story. Very much, apart from a sidelong glance at France. But yeah, they're. How can it be terrifying? But parts of it are. Rereading it, parts of it very much are to put yourself in that position is a terrifying experience. Hearing about, you know, as the author, as the writer runs away, and he thinks any second the heat ray from these things he's just gonna sweep out and just instantly kill him. There's nothing he can do about it. All he can do is run. It is a terrifying passage, and I wish I was better at reading things. Tax loopholes fine. Leave my water alone. Okay, nothing new up there. I wish I was better at reading those kind of stories, because I wish I could put across, you know, how good these things are. Because it's the sort of book that people know. People know the story of Water Worlds. You know, despite all the retellings and everything else, you know the rough idea of what happens. Generally speaking, it's part of the stories of the world that everyone knows about. That people are aware of it, but although you may know about the story and the rough gist of it, isn't quite the same as rereading it. And I wish I could, but I'm unfortunately not quite good enough. Anyway, we're going to read this over here, though, which is about the eggs themselves. The eggs we found growing in our last cargo shipment. So they were actually growing in there? Maybe you have to ship them fresh, and that's the point. You don't like a chicken's egg, where, you know, a chicken's egg, as long as if it's not kept warm, then it's non-fertilised. You know, it's not going to do anything. These eggs are a bit different, so they have to keep them growing, maybe. Are now fully incubated. Growth appears to be rapid, and many of the eggs have already been incinerated due to near maturing age. Okay, they know something's bad in there, so they are chucking them in the furnace when they get too big. In fact, the one that was on here was noticeably bigger than the ones that were over in the incubator. That was obviously getting close to being ready, so they wanted to study the larva inside as late as possible. Most fully formed, you know. We're not ready to find out what creatures are contained within until our containment area on floor 4 has been repaired. Oh, okay. So you guys were edging it a bit, weren't you? You were going too far with the old risky move. Oh, for goodness sake! The risky move with the incubating alien eggs. That old classic of a problem. Edging the alien eggs. I thought, you'd think at least they would know what was in there, though, because, you know, modern technology and all that, you know, whichever of the alien films you look at, they've all got, like, advanced medical scanners. Maybe we're not that far in the future, that's the problem. We're not as far ahead in as we like to think we are, despite this massive, lovely base. Space base. It's a lot of room for a space station, and obviously we have some sort of artificial gravity going on here. Either centrifugal. Why did I say centrifugal? Either angular momentum. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. It's just me being a pedant. Achieved by angular momentum or by a gravity machine, which sounds quite advanced. But there we go. But yeah, I thought, you know, alien films, they're good at scanning inside people to see something's in there. They'd just scan the egg, wouldn't you? You'd scan the egg, and you'd see what was in there. Maybe their scanners are offline. Maybe they haven't got a good enough deep tissue scanner for this. What was this base designed for, anyway, you know? We saw that indoctrination room at the start, and we've got a lab here, like an evil lab. But does that mean they're really set up to do the sort of work they've been doing here? Maybe not. I mean, it's just like, you know, that's the thing. They weren't intended. Of course, they weren't intended to do this, were they? They didn't intend to grow the alien eggs. They found them by chance, and someone upstairs went, "These look important. Give me, you know, put them in the lab stat." But they weren't really ready for it. Their containment is either not ready or it's broken. Well, it's been broken by. I dread to think, but the point is that they were jumping the gun a little, weren't they? Just a touch. Well, the lab area is pretty much clean, I think. I mean, there'll be a bit of sniffing around needed to be done, but otherwise, pretty well, I think. Well, for us. For these guys, not so much. We're a bit of a missing a head here. We've got a why am I even trying to put you in there? I mean, it's just not worth it, is it? It's not going to work. It's not going to work, buddy. I didn't see a head lying there. I saw a head of a janitor of some sort. Have I cycled this? Maybe not. In you go. Yeah, I saw the head of a janitor or something there. But I don't think I saw a hat. Just a hat. Here it is. Lovely skull hat. But there ain't nothing inside it. That's the only head over there. Well, you know, maybe the bug took a fancy to it and ate it properly. I mean, these guys... I mean, you're a head, but you've already got a hat on. Were you wearing two hats? I mean, I don't see why you can't wear two hats. It's up to you, pal. Maybe it's a sign of seniority. Who am I to argue with that kind of thing? Put that goon in there. No, or not. Whichever. I think two hats is possibly excessive. Sounds a trifle uncomfortable. Yeah, so we're going to clean up back towards the where we came in, and the get a bit tearing here for some reason. Why is it so rough? Give me a moment. So I don't know what's going on. There's something causing an issue somewhere. Maybe Windows have decided to gift me. Gavin, let's go. Gift me with a download of some sort of its frightfully important updates of some degree or another. I don't know, but I can't do much about it. It probably... I was going to say it's time for a new PC. It's not time for a new PC. I've got a perfectly good PC, but sometimes they do like to stress my system a little bit. And for some reason this is doing it, so I apologise for that. There are people out there with better systems that record YouTube videos, and actually I'm not one of them. Sorry about that. Who's this here? This is Fawley Pinsky? Maybe? Not making it easy for me, Fawley. Not really making it easy for me at all. It's an impressive old truncheon you've got there. That's, where is that from, Fodder? Where did you get that? That's an interesting bit of model. Have I seen anybody else with anything like that? I don't think so. I've not really been looking at these guys very well. They've got... It's got like a... It's very good, you know. Is this a modification of another model? Have you just stuck these on here? We have a nightstick over here. And we have a miscellaneous pouch, probably ammo, I'd imagine, in there. We have another ammo pouch. We have a communications device of some sort, military grade, and a little, what I presume is a little pen, like a torch. I don't think it's part of this. It might be part of the device, but I think that's actually like a little flashlight or something. That wasn't the best, but you don't want to get you. Give it a bit of a... No? No? Awkward, huh? Legs, I told you, they're the worst. The worst of all body parts. Yeah, interesting. Let's look at the top half then. I want to fish you out of here. What do we got in here? See, I've been showing lack of respect for the creation. I mean, that's a fairly standard suit. It's just a pattern on it. But we've got some epaulets with 2 marks on there. We've got a H or something on there. A little backpack. What do you keep in your backpack? Is that your packed lunch? What's in there then? Huh? Doesn't really matter, does it? Cheese sandwich in there or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, very nice, very nice. I try to stop and appreciate things when I can, and I forget. I'm too busy flapping my jaws. No, I don't notice and respect these things quite as much as I should do. The skill of the creation. Yeah. In good progress. Obviously, these things are left as usual. I have an aversion to filling up the medical kits until later, because if I ever do a reload of a save, it's always been my experience that they stop being seated in there properly. Oh, the choice is now what to do with you, buddy. Drag you along the floor, obviously. Looked like you were getting pretty close. Looked like you were making some good progress towards the exit, maybe. Or just rampaging around in general, possibly. I don't know. But you didn't make it. Security guard was on form. He asked to see you pass, and when you failed to produce it, they shot you. Which is what they're supposed to do. That's what they were taught in their induction which I just reread up there in the induction suite. You have to, you know, simple set of instructions for your guards. But you've got to let them know exactly what's expected of you. I don't know why I brought you in here, because really you need to go here with everything else. Indeed. Yeah, but I'm still missing the purpose. What was this? What was the purpose of this big facility? Maybe they haven't decided yet. They built this facility in space, obviously because it's you know, a bit safer, a bit harder to get to stop them doing whatever they're doing, or the various things this company is up to. But sorry, we're swinging wildly. We don't actually know what to do. Where's the big thing? You know what I mean? Every secret base needs a big thing. You know, you've got your huge parabolic mirrors in which you're going to focus the sunshine down onto the Earth and boil away all the oceans if they don't pay you or submit to your demands. Well, let's not restrict you to money. You might have a broader view in mind. And you did very well. You did very well, sir. You jumped out. You shot this thing to death and then paid the ultimate price. Well, there you go. Just carry you through by hand, legs. You're just not worth it. You're not worth getting a box for. You just go in as you are. Yeah, if you haven't got your big mirrors, maybe you've got the giant antenna that when it goes off, it gives you control over all of the world's nuclear launch codes. You know, you have a big thing. You got your giant tank full of mutant and rabid cocker spaniels. You're getting ready before you release them upon Birmingham. I mean, you know, that's a bit more of a niche one. But you know, it's nice you can't always be global aims. So as long as you can have a small scale evil plan, as far as that goes. But I haven't seen one here. Obviously, I mean the eggs were a lucky break. They just found those by accident. You know, and they were using them for their supply. Maybe they had plans for the larvae. It hadn't got that far yet. It was an early stage plan. You know, it was a work in progress. But we found these disgusting egg things. Maybe they're going to be useful. I mean, you've got to appreciate that kind of thinking. You know, you got to think ahead. Well, not think ahead rather. You got to think on your feet. You got to, you know, you discover something new and you think, what is the best application for this? And they hadn't finished looking inside the eggs yet. They were being careful. I'm sure with a quality company, oops, like this, they'd have that coffee stand's rather upsetting. Can I not get rid of that? No, that's really ingrained, that one. Decades of resting a coffee cup there has made that an immovable stain. Yeah, I'm sure when they got the eggs up to the containment area upstairs, they'd have been well on it. They'd have been, you know, they'd have well into super soldier / bio menace weapon, the usual stuff. They'd have been on it. They'd have been on it in no time at all. But I haven't seen anything here yet. What they were doing. We had a mysterious map over there with the various targeted places. Doesn't necessarily mean they were going to like zap them with something. Who are you anyway? I'll put your head away. Jose Buscador. Fine gentleman. Did your job. Did yourself proud. You should be proud of your achievement there. You did exactly what you were there to do. You didn't survive, but that's kind of your thing. Maybe you probably realise this signing up for the job. You're probably going to be fine. The chances are you're probably going to be fine as an evil guard. You know, you've got your snazzy uniform and your skull hat and your gun and permission to shoot things. I mean, that's pretty good if you like that kind of thing. If you like shiny uniforms and skull hats, you know that you're well on the way. You're fulfilling most of the things you want from your job, really. I'd imagine. But ultimately, if things do go pear-shaped, or in this case bug-shaped, then the chances of you surviving, you know, they're a bit less. You know, you are going to be thrown in the path of said menace to try and deal with it. Rather sadder, depending on your opinion, is this fella here. Also missing a head. It appears to be a thing that the bugs like. They appear to go for the old noggin. Purely Rutger here had been hopes. I mean, you can see the suit and the thing. This is like middle lower management fellow over here. was doing something else entirely at this console keyboard here. Probably had big hopes, had plans for this weekend with the family. You know, thoughts about his shares, how well the company was going to do. You know, and a higher aim than being eaten by a bug. You know, you guys don't expect when I'm sure when these guys join the evil corporation, they don't expect to be, you know, you don't get thrown in front of things. Along with the nameless guards, well, not nameless, we named them earlier, but the skull-capped guards. You're a higher up person. You expect something more from your life and your time at the company. And it was a bit of a rude shock. You're the sort of person to be throwing the guards in front of the alien menace so that you survive. You know? Probably planning right now, sitting here planning and scheming about all the things he could do with the product that's inside the eggs. You know, what's this? It's a printer. That's a very nice printer. I think that one existed in the other map, didn't it? I think that wasn't that's not a fodder creation. Gun casually lying around here. Put that in there. What does the yellow stripe mean? Is that armor piercing? What does that mean? I'm sure you've got the right settings. You know what you're doing, guys. Yeah, I'm sure old Pewley Rutger, or whatever his name was, had big plans. You know, it was going to be the start of their career and their path into middle upper management. Be proudly showing the boss while they stroke their favourite animal in their big spinny chair in their big office. Yeah, this is what we did. This is what we've created on the eggs. Please give me a promotion. Anyway, how are we doing here? We're getting there. Let's go and do the indoctrination room.